question that everybody watching this tape's probably been waiting for us to ask is the big cage match with Idol and Lawler. Now, you came out from under the ring. Now, I mean, I don't know where you want to start with this story, but you were actually hid under the ring for many, many hours before the actual match itself. I mean, you tell the story.
Well, I talked to Austin. Austin told me that it's a big cage match, and I just got back from Japan, and so we come up with a little idea, and I got out there, I guess about 3:30, 4 o'clock, got up in the ring, had me an air mattress and a 6-pack of beer. Don't tell me about it. But anyway, I stayed under the ring. I was under there probably 6, 7 hours.
Wow.
And that was, well, you can look at the tape. I'm sure y'all have the tape, but I mean, there again, the wrestling business was drawn. I mean, it was sold out, but, people in every seat, and when I come out from under that ring, they got all pissed off. They tried to climb the cage and get in.
That's right.
There was a lot of heat there. I mean, it was good.
Yeah. What'd you do under the ring for all that time?
I slept. I just got back from Japan. I was laid. I had me an air mattress. I blowed it up.
Yeah.
I was laid on it. And about the time that first match started, that ring started bouncing. I jumped up. Where in the hell am I at? And then I realized I was under the ring, Then from there, I just sat there and it was my time.
How'd you know when it was your match? You had like a mic or something?
No, Paulie was there.
You heard his mouth going, huh?
Paulie was there, and he just
okay.
When it was right, he let me know.
Right,
I was there.
All right.
Wow. What did you want to? I guess when the feud ended with you and Lawler and Idol and Paul Lee, where did you go after that?
I think I stayed there in Tennessee for a little bit longer, and then just. I went back to Georgia, did the independence. I don't know, been doing it. I kind of got all these years together. I don't know in which sequence they happened, but I was either doing the independence or back in Georgia, because Georgia and Tennessee is the only place, that was home. Them two places, it was good.
Is that where you reside now in Georgia?
Yeah, I live out with the Atlanta racetrack.
Oh, okay. Now you did. I remember you spending some time in the AWA when you did that stuff with Adrian Adonis. When they were on ESPN, right?
Yeah.
Right as they were going down, I guess.
Yeah, I was there right there at the end of that, yeah.
What was, you seem to be a curse on these promotions. Georgia smoking
I shut a bunch of them down.
What was Verne Gagne like? What was he like as a...
Well, when I was up there, Wahoo, Wahoo McDaniel, he was doing the booking, and Wahoo's the one that brought me in.
Okay.
Which I met Verne a few times, but I mean, like me and him went out and had coffee or nothing,
right.
But Wahoo took care of it. I mean, I enjoyed it up there. I wrestled, Kevin Kelly and
that's right.
I had
Medusa Michelli.
Medusa, I ripped her dress off. But I enjoyed it up there. I think I was up there about maybe 6 months, and then I just come on home.
Yeah.
Because I was having to stay up there. It's too far for I like mom and the babies. I got to be there. I got to see them girls. So.
Definitely. Were you there when it went down, or did you leave right before it?
No, they had shut down when I left. They were still running. Just a couple of nights. They got down to a couple of nights and stuff, and so I just went on home.
Yeah. What was the morale like in that locker room? Was it just kind of like everybody's just doing their thing and just that's it? Or
it was. Everybody knew it was coming to the end. So, they had, which he had his local guys. I mean, Kurt, I think Kurt was there when I was in there. He was still in there. And,
right.
But they all knew, they all knew it was, it was about over, I think.
Yeah. What was the decision that led to you finally going to WCW? I guess giving in to the big time and going to WCW when you came in and you feuded with Lex Luger, I think, right away.
Yeah. Well, it was one of them deals. The situation was right, and they offered me the right money, and I had a good little run with them. So it's just, but they're it's like it's not a wrestling. They're corporate companies now. It's not a wrestling. It's all marketing and not my cup of tea, but you don't turn the money down. You know?
I guess when you're working a show called Halloween Havoc, and everybody's coming out in costumes and stuff. Yeah,
that's good. That's that's the glitter and the glamour. But I also think people would just as soon sit and see the real wrestling instead of all the glitter and glamour.
I guess that's why USWA is still around and still has people coming every week. In ECW.
Yeah, and it's good to see the promotions popping up. You look at. People say you can't have territory, but Tennessee, that's proof. And they've done the wildest stuff in the world, and they're still alive, So, it can be done,
Yeah. In the WCW locker room, I guess you were, I guess at that point you were a veteran coming in. I guess you were on the other side, as not in Georgia. You were a veteran coming into all these new younger guys starting to come up. What were they like? Did they listen, or were they just, did they just see all that money coming and they just really didn't care about listening and the respect value? Or
like I said, I'm kind of alone, and I didn't, everybody do what they want to do. I had not my clique. I have my brother, cousins. So I don't like the word clique because I ain't in no clique.
Right.
But we just went and did our business, and the ones that did want to learn, because I had a lot of people help me. I don't mind helping. That's the reason that, like I said, with these kids up here at ECW, I really do enjoy it because they all want to learn, and, they show you respect, so, it's good.
Yeah. Was that the first time, I guess, you were working a territory basically where everybody's making six figures and not working and scratching, and I get, was that different, in a sense, or did everybody still treat it the same?
Well, yeah, you just treat it the same, it's, you don't treat it the same because if you go somewhere and you make $40, you can't go out and party all night, or you can't do this. So, it ain't the same, but, I never did think about it. I ain't never thought about it, I'm one of the type that I live day to day, and it's all good to me. Yeah. And, it's like I said, when I first started, I worked some shows and made $15. I wouldn't do that no more. But everybody starts somewhere, and I think that's where some guys. If you don't start there and do that, and then you get a big money contract, I don't think you understand the business. You've got to pay some dues somewhere.
You can't relate to a lot of the.
Yeah, you've got to be there. I call it hard times. I've been there when we run up down the roads, and but it's still all been good to me. Some people call it hard times. Some people might even say you crazy as hell for doing it. But, if it's something you want to do, you stick it out. That's like a musician. They play in bars, and some of these little old bars they play in, they don't make nothing, but they keep juking just to get the opportunity to get a break. So I think you can get a break, but I think you got to make your breaks yourself too, though.
Yeah, definitely.
Watch thousands of exclusive shoot interviews right now on TitleMatchNetwork.com.